Hello and thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and in today's lesson I will talk about the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. This is one of the most important symbols of Western occultism, and this is one of the most important symbols especially of Enochian Magick. So once again, Enochian Magick is a form of angel magic in which you call upon various spirits and then you communicate through some type of a scrying device, such as a crystal or a stone, which is what John Dee and Edward Kelley used. They actually called it the shew stone or the show stone, or some Enochian magicians use a black mirror, which John Dee himself also possessed a black obsidian mirror, but there are no references in his diaries where he says that he actually used the black mirror for Enochian magic. So basically the Sigillum Dei Aemeth is engraved into wax and is used to hold either the black mirror or the crystal ball or stone that is used to communicate with spirits. And also there are 4 smaller forms of the wax seals that are placed under the 4 legs of the holy table. Now, I am going to explain each of these elements in upcoming videos, so not to worry. And you can find actual wax seals like this online. If you go to eBay and you look up Sigillum Dei Aemeth, you could actually find some wax seals. And then also my friend, the occult author, Jason Augustus Newcomb, he also makes and sells the actual wax seals. And they're made out of beeswax. So basically, the Sigillum Dei Aemeth, there are 5 of these seals used in Enochian Magick. There are 4 placed under the 4 legs of the holy table. And then there is a larger one that is used to hold the scrying device, either the black mirror or the crystal ball used to communicate with the various spirits. Now, within this symbol itself, basically there are many different names of spirits within this seal. That is what this whole seal is basically made up of, is the different names of the different spirits. And today I'm going to break that down for you guys. Now, the spirits that are in this seal actually do not include the main angels worked with in the Heptarchic system, such as the angelic kings and princes and the 5 governors of the different days of the week and astrological planets, or their ministers. Nonetheless, these angelic spirits are very important to Enochian Magick. So there are actually different forms of the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. This seal was this is the version that was actually revealed to John Dee and Edward Kelley in the late 1500s. That's the late 16th century, late 1500s. John Dee and Edward Kelley were revealed this seal. If you would like to see the primary source material, that where John Dee describes how this was revealed to him, then I encourage you to check out the 5 books of mystery. Now, the 5 books of mystery are the personal diary, essentially, of John Dee and Edward Kelley, where they wrote down the results of their communications with the spirits. So once again, Enochian Magick, or some people pronounce it Enochian. I think that's incorrect because you don't say Enoch. You don't say the prophet Enoch. But many people pronounce it Enochian. But Enochian Magick was basically a form of angel magic that was revealed to John Dee and Edward Kelley, and people still practice Enochian Magick. Basically, you call upon various spirits, and then you communicate through either a black mirror or a crystal ball. You use a scrying device, which scrying is when you look at an object to focus in which you expect to see images. So this is basically summoning spirits and communicating with them. Excuse me. So there are actually different forms of the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. One of the earliest forms of the Sigillum Dei Aemeth actually appears in Liber Juratus, which is the Sworn Book of Honorious. And this is actually the form that is found in the Sworn Book of Honorious. And the Sworn Book of Honorious, there are different ways of dating this. Many people would agree that the Sworn Book of Honorious, or Liber Juratus, dates to about the 13th century, 13th or 14th century. And here, this is the earlier version of it. And again, you have the 7 planetary archangels, and then the different names of God. And then around the whole thing, you have the 72-fold name of God, or how that book interprets it, which is the Shem Ham Pharesh. In future videos, I'll actually discuss the Shem Ham Pharesh. But this is the form of the Sigillum Dei, as it calls it, found within Liber Juratus, the Sworn Book of Honorious. And then another version of the Sigillum actually also appears in an Italian manuscript of the Key of Solomon, which the Key of Solomon is a text for summoning demons and angels and various spirits. So those are other versions of the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. So, as I said, a wax seal inscribed with this occult symbol is used to hold the scrying device. 4 smaller ones are placed under the 4 legs of the holy table. So, it's time to actually break this down. How does this symbol work? So I will start with the outer circumference and then work my way into the center. So at the outer circumference, you see letters with a number either above or below, and sometimes a letter off to itself. And this is used to spell out 7 names of God. 7 names of God. Revealed what was believed to be in an angelic tongue. The 7 names of God are Galas, Gethog, Thoth, Horlon, Enon, Alth, and Galethog. So I probably butchered that, but those are the 7 names of God. And the way that these are revealed is actually shown in the 5 books of mystery. Again, this is a primary document where John Dee writes down, as they're communicating with the spirits, what is being seen and communicated. So these are direct records. These are not just some other person's opinion. These are actually the records of John Dee. So the 5 books of mystery are in the public domain because they were written in the late 1500s. We didn't even have copyrights back then. Also, these have also been published with a nice introduction by Joseph H. Peterson. So you could also purchase these. And I believe that they're sold through Wiser Books, the publishing company. So, the 7 names of God are found in this outer ring. And in the 5 books of mystery, these, again, you see either, here's a T with a number 4 above it. Here is a G with the number 2. N with the number 7 above it. Here's T with the number 9 below it. So these were revealed according to the 5 books of mystery. Again, Edward Kelley would be actually looking into the scrying crystal, and John Dee would be writing it down. And this recording of what they did is in the 5 books of mystery, so you can see for yourself. So these were revealed in kind of a dramatic way, where Edward Kelley would see different angels appear, and then they would open their garments, and a letter and a number, or sometimes just a letter, would appear on their chests, and then, you know, they would say some kind of pious Latin phrase and then vanish. So how this works is, a capital letter begins a name. So if you see a capital letter, that is the beginning of a name. If there is a number above a letter, it means that you go that many spaces clockwise to find the next letter. So for example, here we have a capital T. We know that that actually begins a name. So we would count 4 spaces clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we get to H. So that's the next letter. And it has 22 above it, so we would go clockwise 22 spaces to find the next letter. Now, if a letter has a number below it, then you actually go counterclockwise to find the next letter. So here we have a T with a 9 below it, so we would actually go counterclockwise like this. So let's try it out. So first, let's look at this name right here. We see a capital G, so we know that this begins one of the divine names because it's a capital letter. A 9 above it, so we rotate 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we get to a letter A with a 6 above it. So to the next letter, we move over 6 spaces. We count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have G-A-L. Here we have an L with an 8 beneath it. Since the number is below it, we go counterclockwise. This is sort of like a great combination lock or something. So we go 8 spaces counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Qabalah, so G-A-L-A, and then 20 spaces clockwise to find the next letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's another A, which John Dee and Edward Kelley were told to omit some of the repeating A's. So it's still Qabalah. And then there is an 8 above it, so 8 more spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here is an S by itself. So the first divine name we get is Galas. Okay? And this is the seal of Galas. It is a G with a cross next to it, or above it. Galas. Okay? And then over here is a number 5, which I will explain here in a moment. But the first divine name is Galas. You get another divine name in the same way, Gethog. Gethog. The seal of Gethog is an A with a cross next to it. Gethog. The next divine name is Thoth. and the symbol of Thoth is an L with a number beside it. Okay? So we have Galus, Gethog, and Thoth. And then we go over to the next one. The next divine name is Horlon, and the divine symbol of that, excuse me a second. All right. So we have Galas, Gethog, Galas, Gethog, Thoth, and then Horlon. And this is the symbol. It's actually, it looks like XE, but you have to remember that an X is also a cross, so it's an E with a cross. Okay? The seal of the next divine name is a T, which is itself a cross, which is the symbol of Enon. And then we move over. Alth has an H with a cross. And then we scoot over again. The seal of Galithog, it has an OG in it. And actually, so there are 7 divine names of God revealed to John Dee and Edward Kelley. And the outer ring, which again, you rotate clockwise if a number is above a letter, and you go counterclockwise this way if a number is beneath a letter. So that's pretty trippy, pretty wild. So yeah, and the seals of these different divine names actually spell out Galithog, which is one of the divine names. So it appears that one of the divine names, Galithog, actually rules or is supreme and contains the others. So that is the outermost part of the seal. And then also there is a number besides each letter, and that is to confirm that this spells Galithog. Because if you look for G and a 5, and you look for the next, it'll take you to an A and a 24, and an L and a 30, and an E and 21, a T and 9, and then an H, 14, and then Og has no number, again to confirm that that is the last of the divine name. And then you have these various crosses as well, which I don't believe is fully explained. So that explains the outer ring and this part right here with these different seals. Again, the divine names are Galas, Gethog, Thoth, Horlon, Alth, Enon, Alth, and Galithog. Now we get to the next part. Now we see these divine names. It looks like Zalalahia, and these divine names in these squares right here. Okay? Now, if you put these divine names one on top of each other and you read them vertically, then it will spell out the different planetary archangels. So if you just read the first, again, I'm talking about this bar right here, these 7 bars, okay? Something I wanted to mention while I remember, before I forget, is that this is actually the basis of Aleister Crowley's symbol of the AA. Here you have the 7-pointed star of the AA, and then the different 7s are in the form of a pentagram at the center. But anyways, so if you read just the first letter, you get Z, A, P, H, K, I, E, L. You scoot over a letter. Zafkiel. That is the archangel of Saturn. Then you scoot over a letter to the second letter of each line, you get Z-A-D, Zadkiel. That is the archangel of Jupiter. Okay? And then you scoot over a letter. You scoot over a letter to the next one. Kumail, which is this form of the name of the archangel of Mars. Again, that would be destruction and all of that. And then the next archangel, Raphael, R-A-P-H-K or P-H-A-E-L, Raphael. And sometimes Raphael is assigned to the sun and sometimes towards Mercury. In my opinion, Raphael seems to have much more of a mercurial essence. But here it assigns Raphael to the sun, an archangel of the sun. The next letter, H-A-N-I-E-L, Haniel, the archangel of Venus. And then you scoot over a letter, you get Michael, here shown as the archangel of Mercury, and then Gabriel. So again, on these divine names, if you spiral, again it's a spiral, you spiral, you get the names of the planetary archangels, Zadkiel, Kumail, Raphael, Haniel, Michael, Gabriel. These are the archangels of the planets. So that is what that has. Now, so as you can see, you have 7 names of God and their seals, and one divine name that rules those seals. And then with this first line, this spells out in a sort of a spiral the planetary archangels. Now, I understand if this is a lot at once, but it is kind of complex. Here we move on to the next divine name. Okay, the next divine names are in here. Okay, S-A-A-I 21/8.E-M-E. Here you have B-T-Z-K-A-S-E 30 and a dot. Okay, here you have H-E-I-D-E-N-E. So this is a lot like the rest of Enochian Magick. It's a lot like with the watchtowers with a bunch of complex letters and stuff. But if you put these divine names on top of each other, like this, okay, you'll see how you derive the rest of the angels. This contains the names of the daughters of light, the sons of light, the daughters of light, and the sons of light. Okay, so I will show you how this works. Again, you put the divine names one on top of the other. And I will show you how you get the names of these other spirits. So, the first divine name, now first of all, when it's a letter with a number, here, it is an L. When you have a letter and a number, the number makes it an L. So here you have the divine, inside here are the names of the daughters of light. The daughters of light. El, Me, Ese, Yana, Akele, Azdoben, Stimkul. These are the names of the daughters of light. And you find them if you go diagonally here. The first daughter of light is E, or El. The second daughter of light is Me. Again, you go diagonal. The next daughter of light is Ese. The next daughter of light is Iana. The next daughter of light that you get is Kelley. The next daughter of light, Azdoben. And then Steamkul. Okay? So, and if you actually look at these divine names, you start with the last letter, E, or El. That's that name. Scoot over letter M, and then the last letter He, M-E, Me. Okay, scoot over letter E, Se, and then you scoot over a letter, Yan, Na. So you can see how the divine names actually come from these divine names. And these are the daughters of light. Now, the divine names that are found in these lines here are the sons of light. These are the sons of light, okay? These are the sons of light. These are found by going diagonal this way, this half of the square that contains these divine names. So the first one is this. First we have Steamkul again, which is also a name of a daughter of light. Beigya, Heoa, Damal, and then on and on. And you see these divine names within the lines of this heptagram, okay? And then the divine names here are the daughters of light and the sons of light. They're also found in these divine names, okay? So the daughters of light are found going this way. So, Ab, Ath, Ized, Ekiel, Madimi. Now Madimi is one of the more important spirits that communicated to Dee and Kelley. Here we have Esemeli. And you see these divine names right here. So you see Ab, Ath, Ized, Ekiel, Madimi, Esemeli. Now we move into this inner ring right here. These are the sons of light. And these are found by working this way. But you work up and diagonal, working down. So Ilemese is a son of light. Hagonel, Rokle, Liba, Ave. Again, Ave is a very important angel that was communicating with Dee and Kelley. An and Le, or El. And then here we have these divine names. El, An, Ave, Liba, Rokle, Hagonel, Ilemese. So here you have these different divine names. So these are the different names of the spirits that were communicating with John Dee and Edward Kelley. And then in the center part of the diagram, which shows a pentagram, are the planetary archangels. So at the very center is a cross, which represents the earth. And then around it is Levanael, which is the angel of the moon. Well, I'll start out at the outer part. Here you have Zabati, which is a form of the Hebrew Shabbatai or Sabbatai, which is the name of Saturn. So Sabbatiel is the name of the archangel of Saturn. You have that name here. You zigzag. Okay, I'll show you. Sabbati. So here you have S-A-B-A-T-H-I. Sabbati. Okay? And you see this here around the pentagram. Z-A-B-A-T-H-I. Sabbati. Then you see different other angelic names here. The next one is Zedekiel. Here you have Z-E-D. Here you have Zed-Dekiel. And here we have that divine name right here. You see a Z in the uppermost part of the pentagram. Zedekiel. The next, that's the angel of, at a lower level, not this higher, like archetypal level, at a lower level, the angel of Jupiter. Then you have Madimiel. Now, something interesting about Madimi is that it seems to have the Hebrew name for Mars. One of the daughters of light that talked to Dee and Kelley. But anyways, so here, let's see, here you have Madim, let's see, where did I get that? Okay, Sabbatai, Sabbati, Zedekiel, Madimiel, the angel of Mars. Here you have Semeliel, and you see that here. Semeliel, the angel of the sun. And that's placed right here on the pentagram. Okay? Next you have Nogachel, and that is the angel of Venus. Okay? And it's placed right there. And then next you have Korabiel, which is placed here, the angel of Mercury. And then finally, you have Levaniel, which is placed right here. So that basically this whole symbol is the names of different planetary spirits. Essentially, at the outermost part, you have the different names of God, Galas, Gethog, etc., and their seals right here, which again spells out Galithog, which seems to be a rolling aspect of the names. Then right here you have the names of different planetary archangels at a much higher level. Then from these divine names here, you derive the rest of the spirits in the system. So these divine names, S-A-A-I-E-M-E, these divine names here, when you stack them on top of each other, you get the names of the different daughters of light, sons of light, daughters of light, sons of light, and the planetary archangels as well. So, and once again, this is the Sigillum Dei Aemeth, and this is used to summon and communicate with spirits. So Enochian magicians are of really two different schools. The first of these are the Dee purists, which try to do things in a similar way to John Dee and Edward Kelley. And I personally think there's a lot of merit to that. I personally tend to come from a more traditional perspective where I think it's good to work with these systems in this way. And then there is the Neo-Enochiana. The Neo-Enochiana was developed by people that have read Casaubon's A True and Faithful Relation. Hold on just a moment here. So Casaubon's A True and Faithful Relation was a text that was really, a lot of the materials from John Dee and Edward Kelley were not known until much later. So both occultists and scholars had an incomplete picture for some time. So that here is a treatise on angel magic. This is a very good text. This text was actually written probably in the 17th century. A treatise on angel magic. Now, in this text, it talks about the holy table and all of this. But again, it shows an incomplete picture. You can see that the writer, the author, was not familiar with some of the missing parts of these materials. And then the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn would come along, and then many later magicians. And now we have a more full understanding of what the system entailed. So within the Neo-Enochian framework, and really sort of the most prevailing view of occultism, the dominant view today, the dominant view of Western occultism today, that you'll hear more often than not, is that you don't need these tools. Well, I'm not really going to say one way or the other. You have to experiment and see for yourself. Many Enochian magicians do not have these tools, and they claim to have very powerful results. So really, that's up for you to decide as an independent individual experimenter with the system. So you can try it with or without. I personally like to actually have the tools, but to each his or her own. That's up for each individual. So if you don't want to, go through all this trouble, then, do as you will. I'll put it that way. There are two schools of thought. Some believe that yes, it's important to have all these tools. Some people say it's not important. So that's really up for you to decide. I personally think that it's best to have the materials. If you would like to get the wax discs, the Sigillum Dei Aemeth, again, you can find these on eBay. And then my friend, occult author Jason Augustus Newcomb, he actually sells these as well. I'll give a link in the description box to his store where you can buy these seals. Again, you'll need 5 of them, a larger one to hold the scrying device, either the black mirror or the crystal ball. Again, Enochian magic is a form of angel magic in which you summon and communicate with various spirits. And then 4 smaller forms of the seals are placed under the 4 legs of the table, the holy table. But basically, this is the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. And I basically broke this down for you, all the different elements of this symbol. So it looks like a very complex symbol, but once you understand, there's really not much to it. Basically, it's the names of many different spirits. And this is one of the most important symbols of Enochian magic. So that is today's lesson on the Sigillum Dei Aemeth. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful day. And if you would like to support my work, my lessons are always free for everyone. So you don't have to support my work. My lessons are always free. But if you would like to support the work that I do in these lessons, then below in the description box, I will give a link to my Patreon account if you would like to support the work that I do in the various lessons that I give, so that I can place my focus on teaching and be able to teach. So anyways, so if you would like to support my work, in the description box, check out my Patreon account. And yep, that's it. So many more lessons are to come, and that is the Sigillum Dei Aemeth of Enochian Magic. And new videos come out every Saturday morning. So thank you for joining me. Have a great day.